Hello and welcome to the shorter version of the 9 tricks to understanding subject-verb agreement, or Concord. Okay, so it's shorter in the sense that there is a longer version. So if after watching this video you don't understand some things, then I suggest that you watch the longer video where I have a lot of examples and things to illustrate it. But even if after watching that you're still not clear, then you may email me. My email will be at the end of this video. The link to watching the longer version of this video will be in the description menu. So let's cut to the chase. Let's start immediately. What exactly are the 9 tricks to understanding subject-verb agreement? Trick number 1, know the basic rule. I think that's a no-brainer. You would have expected that. What's the basic rule? A singular subject takes a singular verb, while a plural subject takes a plural verb. So ask yourself, what is the subject of the sentence? The subject of any sentence is what that sentence is about, or what is performing the action in that sentence. Because in English language, every sentence must have a subject and a verb. In fact, the shortest sentence in English language is I am. In fact, I do is also another. I is the subject, am is the verb. You get that? So that every sentence must have a subject and a verb. So ask yourself, what is performing the action in that sentence? That is the subject. So you need to know whether you're looking for the singular or you're looking for the plural. And then that will determine which verb you pick. Now, let's take a look at examples for the sake of illustration. So this example says, Kamsi reads novels. Kamsi is a singular subject, one person, so it'll therefore take a singular verb, reads. I say reads because reads ends with the letter S. So that's to let you know that verbs that end with the letter S are singular. The other example I'll be giving you is a plural version. So we have the boys, this time plural, read comic books. So that's to let you know that boys, being plural, will therefore take a plural verb, read. Verbs that don't end with the letter S are therefore plural. You get that? Good. Okay, now let's move on. Spotlight. Quick spotlight, just to reiterate what I had mentioned before. Singular verbs that end with the letter S are, verbs that end with the letter S are singular, including auxiliary verbs like is, was, has. They end with the letter S, so they're singular. All right, so like you have in the example, the girl is in class, singular, takes a singular verb, is. COVID-19, a singular disease, takes a singular verb, has. No cure yet. You get that? Now, plural verbs, on the other hand, don't end with the letter S, including auxiliary plural verbs. In actual fact, auxiliary verbs that are plural end with the letter E. Like we have boys, where. We have where, we have had, we have where, we have are, we have. So take a look at this. The boys were in class. Patients are advised to be patient. You get that? Okay, so in moving on, trick number 2, many expressions bearing indefinite pronouns are singular in nature, so they must take singular verbs. And these indefinite pronouns are each of, one of, either of, neither of, none, everybody, anybody, nobody, somebody, or someone. Now, all of these, and in fact, there are even more expressions that are not on this list. They are singular in nature, and therefore they must take a singular verb. So in practice, let's see this. None of my children dash been to the museum. The expression none of is singular. It makes the whole phrase, including children, singular in nature. So you have none of my children has been to the museum. You get that? Exactly. Now, trick number 3 says collective nouns are regarded as singular subjects because they are collected together and given one name, so we'll call them singular. An example like this, let's practice this. The class dash graduating today. We know that the class is made up of several children, 2 or more. Therefore, we will be tempted to go for the plural subject. No. It is not a plural subject. The class is a singular subject. The class is a collective noun. So the class is what we'll take. Class is graduating today. Trick number 4. And is the only conjunction that makes 2 subjects plural. Where you have and, 2 subjects are plural. So in a sentence where you have 2 subjects put side by side and are joined with the conjunction and, therefore you have a plural subject. There is an exception though, but let's get to that later. Now, let's practice this. Leke is a subject, lekon is another subject, but they are joined together by the conjunction and. So leke and lekon therefore become plural. So leke and lekon, you will then go for the plural verb come, not comes. Remember, the ones that end with the letter S are singular. So Lekki and Lee can come from Oyo State is your sentence. Now, this is the exception. In any case where you have two subjects joined by and, but they are referring to the same thing or the same person, you will still consider them as a singular subject. So Gary and Granot is a singular subject. Yeah, because it's one single meal. Gary and Granot is my favorite dessert becomes your sentence. Yeah. Okay, good. Now, trick number 5. The following expressions are plural subjects. Expressions like all, several, some, few, many, both. They are plural subjects. Where you have them in sentences will definitely be plural, and they will take a plural verb. So in practice, we have this. All the books dash scattered when I arrived. You know definitely that you will say all the books were scattered when I arrived. Now, this is the exception. In a case where all is referring to a singular entity, so you need to take a look at context. So we have this. Consider the issue of context. All of my life is yours. In this particular case, this person says, if pieces of my life were put together and given to you, all of them is yours. All of my life is yours. All right, you get that. Now, also, uncountable nouns are regarded as singular. So milk cannot be counted. So you say some of the milk, even though it says some, you'll think it is plural. No, it's not. Some of the milk has spilled. That's what you have. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next trick. Trick number 6 says, ignore prepositional phrases, ignore adjectival phrases. Take a look at the picture in the background. It says, no bicycles, please. Yet, this person has parked his bicycle or her bicycle right under the sign. That's, as far as the person is concerned, that sign is not existing. So that's the same idea I need you to apply when you're seeing adjectival phrases or prepositional phrases in a sentence where you're supposed to pick the subject-verb agreement. Ignore it. See if it doesn't exist. For example, in this sentence, the teacher who won the state's numerous awards dash relocated to Ibadan. Now, there is an adjectival phrase here. The adjectival phrase is who won the state's numerous award because it's describing the teacher. So you will cut it out of your paper or you cover it and read the sentence as what? The teacher has relocated to Ibadan. So your whole sentence becomes the teacher who won the state's numerous awards has relocated to Ibadan. Or this example where we have dancing and swimming, my two favorite things to do, dash now disallowed in school. So my two favorite things to do is the phrase, the adjectival phrase here describing dancing and swimming. Okay, so you remove it or cover it from your paper, ignore it, assume it doesn't exist, and you read your sentence as what? Dancing and swimming are now disallowed in school. Your full sentence becomes dancing and swimming, my two favorite things to do are now disallowed in school. Now, trick number 7 says, if sentences start with there or here, the subject will be placed after the verb, meaning the verb will be mentioned first. So take a look at this example. There dash a misconception that the SSCE exam is a difficult exam. The subject in this sentence is misconception. That is the main theme that the sentence is about. That is what we're referring to. Misconception is a singular subject, so it'll take the singular verb is. So there is a misconception that the SSCE exam is a difficult one. Okay, good. Now, trick number 8 says where two phrases are joined by as well as, with, like, alongside, or any other conjunction apart from and. Then you ignore the conjunction and the phrase mentioned after it. This is what I mean. In this particular sentence, Governor Sanwo-Olu with his wife dash my home every other weekend. The conjunction that is used here is with. The phrase mentioned after it is his wife. So what you're supposed to do is you ignore with his wife. You cover it from your paper. You don't need it. And you read it as Governor Sanwo-Olu visits my home every other weekend. You then restore what you have covered and you have the whole sentence as Governor Sanwo-Olu with his wife visits my home every other weekend. Now to trick number 9. When two subjects are separated by either or, neither nor, not only but also, use the subjects closest to the verb. In other words, ignore everything from either or, neither nor, not only but also. Ignore it and read your sentence without it. So in practice, let's say we have this. Either Larry or Oge dash the valedictorian of the year. So what you will do is what? You will ignore everything from either Larry or, cover it, and you read it as Oge is the valedictorian of the year. By the time you restore what you covered, you have what? Either Larry or Oge is the valedictorian of the year. Another example, neither my books nor my lucky pen dash found in his bag. Now, I know we have my books and we also have my lucky pen, but you're supposed to ignore everything from neither to nor. And so you cover it, and then what you have is what? My lucky pen was found in his bag. Your full sentence therefore becomes neither my books nor my lucky pen was found in his bag. If you use these tricks, you definitely will find subject-verb agreements easy, right? These are where I got the ideas from. Well, what inspired the idea, but a whole lot more was generated by practice. I'm thinking years of practice, at least 10 years of practice. I mean, yeah, 10 years of teaching this. So, and I have taught this over the years, and it has made it easy for the children that I have taught to understand the subject. So I believe that it will be easy for you as well. Okay, so you can definitely tell me what other topic that you have found difficult in English language and you want me to break down for you in tricks. Yeah, I'll figure it out by God's grace, and then I'll be able to get it across to you. So put it in the comment section, and then I'll definitely get back to you with a video. Okay, so if you need to contact me, like I said before, I promised earlier, this is my email address, lekki@penspeakers.com. I'm very willing to answer your questions, and you can also connect with me on social media. I believe this has been useful for you. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.